Man, I don't know about you guys, but last night was some of the best super speedway style racing I have seen in a while. And it wasn't even on an authentic super speedway either. No, this was at Atlanta Motor Speedway, of all places too. Ever since the repave last year, it has put on some of the most unique racing for us race fans to have ever witnessed. So, in today's second installment of Discussion Time, I decided to take a look at the current state of Atlanta Motor Speedway and where it stands as of right now. But before we get into the video, ladies and gentlemen, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NASCAR related content like this. With that being said, on to the video. Before we look at the current state of this mile-and-a-half hybrid racetrack, we need to take a step back to 2021 when in July of that year, it was announced that Atlanta Motor Speedway's worn out surface at the time that hadn't been touched since 1997 was finally getting the repave. But with a twist, however. They additionally announced that the banking in the turns would be increased from 24 to 28 degrees of banking. In comparison, Daytona and Talladega's bankings in their turns are both 31 and 33 degrees respectively. So we all assumed what type of racing we were going to see at the track, and that's super speedway style racing. Let's just say the reaction to this news had a bit of mixed results between drivers and fans. Kevin Harvick came out and said that the idea of the reconfiguration wasn't very good. And other drivers such as Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, and Kyle Busch were all skeptical on how this was going to work, mainly pointing out that this was just for entertainment purposes, in which case they weren't exactly wrong. So like many race fans, including myself, we're all curious to see how this whole thing was going to play out, but we wouldn't get that answer until spring of 2022. The first race weekend of this track was very anticipated, and we got the racing product that we all expected. Super speedway style racing, and let's just say the racing was somewhat entertaining, as William Byron would score the first ever win on the brand new surface. Multiple other drivers would win on the surface, such as Chase Elliott and Joey Logano in the spring of this year. Two other drivers that I just mentioned previously on how they said they were skeptical on this new surface. Funny how that works, right? Now we get to yesterday, July 8th, 2023, the Quaker State 400, Night Race Edition, the first ever Atlanta night race since 2014. Us fans expected the typical pack racing with the current surface, but we did not expect it to be this good. What we saw last night was some of the best racing this track had to offer. And quite frankly, I would make an argument saying that it was probably the most exciting racing that we have seen all year so far. But unfortunately, the race was cut short of its scheduled distance due to rain, as William Byron would once again put himself at the right place at the right time and would take his second win on the new current surface, this time due to a rain-shortened event. I guess for now we can call William Byron the king of New Atlanta. Although the sport did call the race through the rain, we all figured that the fans would not take this lightly, especially on social media. Fans were wanting NASCAR to run several more laps before the rain actually hit before the final caution. But NASCAR fans, let me remind you of something. There's a reason why we didn't let this happen again. And you're currently seeing it on the screen right now. Just a word of advice. But with all that being said about the current state of the racetrack, we gotta ask ourselves, what does the future hold for this track exactly? Well, it's honestly hard to say because we don't know what racing will look like when the surface eventually starts to get worn out. The surface might become bumpy again like it used to be. The pack racing might still be there, it might not, who knows. But as Dale Jr. said in the tweet, Atlanta is probably one of the hottest tracks in NASCAR as of right now, and as of last night, it's starting to gain more and more fans after that race, myself included. I wasn't originally a fan of this new track, but it's definitely changed my mind. I've seen many fans around me who originally thought that this idea was a gimmick completely change their mind and saying that this is some of the best racing that they've seen in a while. The irony of NASCAR fans, everybody. The irony. So, with all that being said, I want to pass it along to you guys. What do you guys think of the current state of Atlanta Motor Speedway? Do you enjoy it or don't you enjoy it? Well, for me personally, I actually really enjoy the track a lot more, as I just mentioned previously. But only time will tell on how this track will change, as weathering of the track will eventually change. Let me know what you guys think about the track down in the comment section below, and thank you for joining me on another episode of Discussion Time. Reminder, these are not meant to be very, very long episodes. These are just short videos talking about certain topics in NASCAR and what I think only. Also, a new episode of the Trekkers and Wreckers podcast will be released Thursday, so please go check that out while you have the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.